Mwah. Welcome home. Immediacy in video games is often subtle and sometimes easier to notice by what isn't there. But maybe we're all able to sense when immediacy is lost because we recognize how it feels when distractions have appeared between us and the fun. Egoraptor has classically mentioned the Zelda item chest. Sure, back in the day it was more immediate, it was shorter, but the tricky part about this is that shorter isn't necessarily better. Maybe the later Zeldas just wanted less arcadiness, so there was more room left over for atmosphere. But maybe this has become a front line for this conversation because it's not just that games have become more atmospheric. Games may also have forgot what it is to be immediate. Breakout, Pong, Pac-Man, Asteroids, early arcade classics and kings of immediacy. No installs or nonsense, just boom, bam. The cartridges of early home consoles were often immediate in the same way, but then tapes and discs entered the game, and this increase in storage space often meant higher resolution graphics, more story, more enemies, more stages, more everything. You'd have to be some chump who still buys Viewmaster discs to not want all that, people may have said, until they realized Viewmasters don't have load screens. Final Fantasy VII became a legend for its massive world packed with incredible content, but you had to swap discs, and you had to wait for load screens, and there were cutscenes and long bits of dialogue. The upside of the new storage mediums in this 5th generation of home consoles were that the real stories weren't just in the JRPGs anymore. Silent Hill, Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, Metal Gear Solid, Gex. These games had crisp graphics, fresh gameplay, a whole new physical dimension, but unlike the Mario Brothers of last gen, also often packed a mighty story. But a potential downside might be that what if you didn't want any of that? If you were a simple man with a hanker to just pick up and play, this may not have been the revolution for you. And this may have been what revealed our modern niches. One side of players may not have minded the little disc swappies, especially if it meant they got longer stories. But the other side of the players may have enjoyed the longer stories too. They may just not have liked how their sense of atmosphere went away when the game needed a different disc, or when they felt frustrated that Link would grab his treasure very slowly. It seems neither side has every answer, because if one side had every answer, then there may not have been a need for more than one side. But the irony might be that nobody must be wrong for everybody to be right. I mean, this is all just preferential, what we all like. One preference doesn't have to beat out another. And the next generation's Halo sequel seemed to understand this. If a cutscene felt too long to some players, a button press let it be over. The gameplay let you take your time or just go the way you wanted to. And sure, there were load screens, but at least these slow moments were a little meditative and let you cleanse your palate after all those alien bastards shot up your ride. Maybe it wasn't perfect, but the experience also didn't get in its own way, which might be what immediacy really is about. And this Xbox original gen of games popped off with games that seemed to really understand what immediacy was. Just to name a few: Grand Theft Auto, Katamari, RE4, Spider-Man, Pac-Man World. Truly a grand time to be alive. So what happened after that? If we look at any modern day big release, there do seem to be ones that get what immediacy is. Some games understand their players' time is valuable and has gameplay outside of what you might see in the standard Ubisoft copy-pasted sandbox title. But if anything has truly gotten better, it's that people don't seem to play only the current big releases. It's easier than ever to find games you might enjoy because past releases are more accessible than possibly ever before. And there's loads of indie games which are sometimes nothing but simple man-friendly pick-up and plays like it once may have been. So just to round this all up, if this is the case, why does this conversation remain? Maybe the answer laid inside the distance between what either side said. Cutscenes were never the enemy of gameplay, and gameplay was never the enemy of atmosphere. Maybe all of this that may have felt like distractions to some people were just the first shaky steps of an art form which had to learn to crawl before it was able to learn to walk. And maybe sometimes it's change that most clearly reveals what's important to let stay the same. Because what might be more important than when a game clicks and we're taken away to a new place? Maybe this is why some people still buy Viewmaster discs, because the next incredible world is just a click away. Hey, you watched all the way up to here. Thank you. Like or subscribe if you want to. And feel free to comment. Click here for more Nisse. Thanks to Grocery Gang, Awan, Mwah, Egg, Omger, Zach, Nathan, and everybody else. Thanks for all of your support. Mwah.